Hi, my name is Gretchen, and I work as the Family Outreach Coordinator for Federation of Families South Florida Wellness Network. We are in Fort Lauderdale, sunny South Florida, and today we're going to be talking about WRAP, the Wellness Recovery Action Plan. And we're going to start talking about the 5 key recovery concepts, and those are hope, personal responsibility, education, support, and self advocacy. And why is WRAP so important to me? Starting with hope, I've been working with a lot of clients, peers in the community, and I think that that's the first step for you to get well. I was in a very dark place in my life 2, 3, almost 4 years ago, and I feel that as soon as I felt hope in my life, I was able to achieve my goals. And that's one of the things that inspire me the most, helping other people to achieve their dreams and their goals, because everybody's able to do that if they feel that there's hope. So that's why it's for me so important to have hope and help other people. Personal responsibility means that you need to take care of yourself, and nobody can do for you what you cannot do for yourself. So I think that it's extremely important when you take charge of your own wellness and recovery journey, then you're going to start getting better. Education. When you are able to get the knowledge that you need about your different mental health diagnoses or conditions, it's all about getting better. So if you have the access to those resources in the community and you have that support, then you're going to be able to get well and achieve those goals. Um, I I've been working in the field for many years as a substance abuse counselor, and I also am recovering myself for mental health. I have 5 different diagnoses, and I think that it's extremely important for us to educate ourselves of what is going on in our brains, in our minds, and with ourselves. Um, Also, as a trauma survivor, I think that it's very important to learn how to self-advocate for yourself. When you have been through trauma, I feel that you are not able to say no. And working in this field, I've been able to learn how to say no and set boundaries with myself and other people. And I learned that I have the right. That's why I love the Bill of Rights so much about WRAP, because it allows me to um, advocate for myself and ask for what I need. And I think that's extremely important. The other thing is to have that support. I have a lot of support from the place that I work with and the people that I work with. I have support from my family, from some friends, and I think that there's no way I can do this by myself. So I think that's why it's so important to have all those recovery concepts: hope, personal responsibility, education, self advocacy, and support. Now we're going to go over the different parts of the WRAP plan that I love so much and that I'm a fan number one. WRAP has helped me to maintain my recovery journey and my wellness. And the first thing is to have a wellness toolbox. And I actually have a real toolbox. And I think that I would like to share some of my wellness tools that I really like the most, like praying and going to church, going to the beach, listening to music. When I feel overwhelmed, I go to my toolbox and I get all these amazing things that I am able to enjoy now and get the best of those. I love to go to the park. I try to spend some time with my kids and my children and my family. I like to call my friends and spend time with them. Um, some of my other wellness tools are yoga and riding my bicycle, going to the pool, do some art and do some gardening and dancing. And I think that is extremely important to have those tools available for your wellness. The second part is the daily maintenance plan. And now I know that I need to have that. If I'm not doing well, I know that is because I haven't been doing that. And so as part of my maintenance plan, I have to every single morning when I wake up, I need to have my coffee and my quiet time and my reading and something that's going to motivate me to start a new day. And if I don't do that in the morning, then everything gets upside down. So I think that going back to my daily maintenance plans, it is extremely important and to identify when I feel well, what are some of the things that I do. And I'm usually a very energetic, passionate person. So if you don't see me doing those things or behaving like that way, then something is going on. Then we have my favorite part of my wrap plan, and that is triggers. And so I think that it's important to identify what are some of the things that trigger me, that make me feel uncomfortable, um, or even maybe things that sometimes are positive. So I need to be extremely aware if those things happen to me, what is my plan? What is my plan? What is the things that I have available to deal with those triggers, like people, places, and things. Um, One of my biggest triggers are, let's say, for example, like having road rage. Um, let's say maybe sometimes some dates that remind you of something that happened to you. It is extremely important for you to have a plan for that day. Some days you actually can't control when those days are coming up. So it's important that you have a plan to work on those days. Um, some of my biggest triggers can be sometimes some smells, some sounds. I've been into many car accidents, and so anything related to that, I need to have a plan for those, because I need to drive, I need to go to work, and so triggers is my best. It's my favorite part from my rap plan, because it allows me to learn more about myself. Um, then we have early warning signs, and sometimes when I start feeling anxious, oh, I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia back in 2003. So chronic pain is a huge thing for me that I need to take care of myself all the time. Because I try to avoid any type of medication, or in this case specifically any type of opioid medication. So I try a lot of natural things like tea and taking a hot bath or having a hot pad. So I noticed that when I'm not feeling well and I have some early signs, my pain increases. So I need to be aware of that. And I feel very irritable. So those are some early warning signs for me. And that my body, my physical body, is telling me something that I need to take care of. So that's why I always like to have my wellness tool accessible in my office, at home, so I know what are the things that I need to do and have to do in order for me to maintain my wellness. As I said, like having relaxation, exercises, breathing exercises, watching a YouTube video. Those are some of the stuff that help me manage my early warning signs. Then we have when things are breaking down. And I think that it's important when we have, when everything, I feel, I, I like to use the word overwhelm. And when I'm feeling that way, it's that mean, for me, it's like I'm not in a good position. Like everything, I feel so stressed out with my children, with work, at home, everything. It's like going crazy. So I try to avoid to get to that point. So I think it's important to go back to your tools and use them and as often as you can. I think that is important. Again, in order for us to do this job and work and help other people, we really need to take care of ourselves. I always share when I do my groups that I think it is important to do that because I feel that I can be in jail, at the hospital, or homeless anytime, like being over the edge all the time. So that's why it's extremely important to take care of yourself and other people and teach to how to do it for other people. People have not been exposed to this type of training or technique or um, wellness tools. So I was exposed to, but before we finish, we're going to go over the crisis plan. So it is important for us to have a list of the people that we really want to have on having a crisis. And I always share when I do the RAP training class or groups that I experienced a really bad postpartum depression. So I needed to have at that time people taking care of myself with the baby, with the cooking, with doing the house chores, laundry. And I don't think we think about that most of the time. The other thing that I experienced with my daughter who was 4 months old, we were hit by a drunk driver, and so we needed, and she was airlifted to the hospital. So we needed to have a plan in place at that time. And it is extremely important that you work on your crisis plan when you are doing well. And I think that sometimes we don't even want to think about those things, but those are things that can happen anytime. So we're gonna make a list of the when I'm feeling well. And as I share, I'm very positive, an optimistic person. I'm always I have a lot of energy, and I'm always trying to do the right thing, and I'm always trying to help other people. So if then you're gonna see the signs that others need to take over. So if you see that let's say I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. So if you see that I'm sleeping too much, that's one of the signs that other people need to be aware. And especially I live here by myself, so I need to have those 5 supporters that are able to help me if I'm going through that at that moment. If you see me neglecting my hygiene, back in 2003, I experienced one of my darkest times in my life, and what that was one of the symptoms that I display and signs, and I had support from family members at that time. So we're gonna make a list of the family members or friends that are close to you that can provide that support, and who are the people that are not good at doing that. And sometimes we don't want to hear some things, and there's some people that we really don't want to be part of that situation at that moment, and that's okay. So you can be very clear on the people that you want to have on your plan. And if you want to take medication, you need to be very specific. What are some of the medications that you took before, the ones that have worked for you, and the ones that you tried before that didn't work for you. You're going to make that on your crisis plan as part 4. And as part 5, you're going to go over treatments, and you're going to say what are some of the things that you want to do and the things that are helping you. So let's say, for instance, okay, if I'm not doing well, I want you to take me to this specific hospital. Or you can say, no, I don't want you to take me to that place because of what I've experienced in the past. I don't think they were very respectful. So you can go over that under the part 5 treatment on your crisis plan. And then part 6, you're going to go over home, community care, or respite. If you have any of those available in your community, and that's something that I think that we need in our area, and to have those options available, and to say, okay, as soon as I get discharged, I'm going to spend the next 2 weeks with you, and this is what I need from you. To be very, very specific. That's why I like RAP so much. And then again, what are some of the treatment facilities that you're going to use and the ones that you really don't want to use. And again, be very specific on the help that you need from others. So I need you to help me with the laundry and the cooking and the house chores. I need you, maybe you need to share your passwords for your different bank accounts and your different accounts that you have pending for that month. So I'm going to tell them, okay, this is what I need from you. And you can have very specific chores for each person. You can take me for a walk, you can let me sleep for a while, or don't let me sleep for too long or too much, right? And the last part of the crisis plan is part 9, and you're going to go over when your supporters no longer need to use this plan. So what are some of the things that you have been doing that you are going to let them know that you don't need the plan anymore? So let's say, like, for instance, when I have slept through the night 3 nights, when I eat at least 2 good meals a day, that is the way that I'm telling you that I'm doing better, that we are not doing the crisis plan anymore. And the last part is the post-crisis plan of the Wellness Recovery Action Plan. And that's a way to say, okay, we are going to inactivate the plan. We are doing better. I am doing better. I don't need your help at this moment anymore. But I want to let you know that if some things like this happen, so we're going to go back to the early warning signs and when things are breaking down. And we're going to go over those and see if something like that happened to me again, this is what we're going to be doing. And again, I think that RAP is an amazing tool for your wellness and your recovery, and it's open and available for everybody to use. And I feel very grateful for Mary Ellen Copeland, and I think this is a great training opportunity for other people to get well and have a purpose in life. And that's the beauty of the Wellness Recovery Action Plan. You don't have to have a diagnosis to use it, and this is for everybody. And again, I feel that this is a great opportunity, and this is a great plan. And thank you for watching.